Steve. What do we got here?
So we're looking at Atari Pong Reinvented as a little tabletop version.
Now, when did this get released? I think it was 2020, wasn't it? Like 2020?
I believe it was 2020, and we've only recently got it here because it's very hard to get in Australia.
That's right. Usually just available in Europe and Canada, but we're probably pretty lucky to have it here in Tasmania.
I dare say it could be the only one that's in the state at the moment.
I reckon so. So, first of all, I just want to critique the way that you play Pong here, Steve. You seem to be a lot more active on the dial than what I am. If I'm on the right here and you're on the left, your hand movements seem to be a little bit excessive.
Well, one might say excessive, but I'd say slow and steady doesn't always win the race. The thing I really like about the controls on this little wheel is it's quite loose. It's if you have someone absolutely lob it from one side over to try and get a point to unlock your play, you can give it a good old Barry flick on the wheel, and before you know it, you've rescued that unplayable shot. Of course, it's really hard to recover from one of those.
Exactly, and I think I like the fact that over the course of time that it gets faster as well.
Yes, yeah, it definitely starts to speed up and the difficulty level just reaches a whole new high.
Yes. Now the other thing, while we're actually scoring points here, which you
well, actually, I'm scoring points.
Exactly, 0 to 3. As you can see except for that one, on the bottom of the screen, the scoring is upside down, whereas the logo at the initial boot up was actually the right side up.
I think the main reason would be, with the original Pong, it was a sideways game on your TV or at the arcade, and with this, like you said earlier, it's very much like air hockey. You're playing it more vertically rather than horizontally. Okay, so we've got a pretty basic menu. I mean, we've got point margin, volumes, and you can adjust the AI level of when you're playing against the computer opponent.
Yeah, okay, which we'll do in a little bit, but do you think the point margin is correct, or do you think it's how many points you should be reaching?
Oh, sorry, that's my mistake. Yeah, correct. You just adjusted it there to 10 points, which means you have to actually get 10 points to win the game.
Right.
Not a point margin.
Yeah, excellent. And so this is now you playing the computer?
Correct.
And how did you find this?
It defaults to level 5 when you first turn the machine on, and I find that's really easy. It was actually not a challenge at all.
Yeah, right. And what did you think of the paddles? Obviously your animated hand movements don't give a lot away, but what are you feeling when you're playing against the computer and how it's functioning?
I like the feel, and I also like the fact that the computer AI seems to move quite smoothly as well. And the one thing I did like about the AI is when you beat it against a point, it does actually not start the ball right from where you would expect it to. It does actually move a little bit, so that creates a bit of a challenge.
Exactly.
That's the only thing that I found was, I think if you bought this purely as a one-player game, you'd probably not feel challenged and you might feel a little bit disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you are buying it for two-player fun, I think that's where its forte is.
That's right. I think that's the original Pong factor, was a two-player game. It wasn't a one-player game, a bit like Breakout or something, was it?
Absolutely. It was designed, and that was a success in the arcade as well as in the home, was it's a family game. It's a fun game. It's a jump-in two-player game.
Okay, Steve, so overall, what's your first impressions?
First impressions, I would say yes, I'd buy one for myself. It'd be fun to play with others and fun for all the family. I think if you're going to play by yourself, I'd probably say look elsewhere.
Okay, I agree. I think it would be a good one of those games that we can record in the future and have a good two-player battle on, and do it regularly, and we'll just see who gets better over time.
Some of us need to improve more than others.
Exactly.